I'll tell you the story. I was dating this girl who was insane. Clinically insane. And I stayed because I might have been in between apartments, also known as homeless, and I might have been using Tinder like Airbnb, okay? And so I moved in with this girl, and she was insane, and I knew this because of the way we would have sex. I don't know if you've ever been with someone, but hard isn't hard enough, right? I'm giving everything. Still. Harder! The next step is jail. It seriously is. Harder! She's a motivational coach, by the way. I forgot to mention that. She'd be on top and she'd just say things like, "Be the change you wish to see in the world!" I didn't know what to do to get this girl to come besides calling an artillery strike, right? So it's one of those people. So I stayed. Why did I stay? Good question. Thank you for asking. I stayed because I was a fuckboy. Let's be honest. Fuckboy, if you don't know what it is an insult that women came up with for men. You're a fuckboy! But it sounds like a compliment, you know? Hey, yo, Mike, what's a fuckboy? There's a boy who fucks. Yeah, that's me. That's me. That's me and Adam, fuckboys, right? So, fuckboy, a lot of women have the fuckboy stories because women share their dating stories. Men don't really do that. With dudes, it's like, yo, you hook up with her? Yeah. That's it. But when women get together over brunch, you should see them. They sit down, they're like, I want all the details. You don't stop until I have an orgasm. Yeah, sure. So he came over 2 hours late. Oh, yeah. I'll take an Eggs Benedict, thank you. And so they share the fuckboy story. And what's crazy is if you're in a relationship, women share so many stories that her friends know everything about you. They know everything about you. If you're in a relationship, they know all your stats. Like an ESPN sports announcer, okay? Bob here, average time to orgasm, 13.46 minutes. Doesn't like to cuddle, has a third nipple. Back to you, Tom. They know all your stats. And then they have to pretend like they don't know everything about you the first time they meet you. You remember that uncomfortable situation? We're like, ladies, here he comes, act natural. Oh, hi! For some reason, I feel like we've known each other our whole lives. So they share the fuckboy story, and it's always the same, the fuckboy story, right? We matched on Bumble because Bumble's better. And women get to make the first move, so we say creative things like, hey. Okay, you're the man, do your job. And so later that night, we went mini golfing. And ladies, you know I don't normally do this. But let's just say he hit a hole in one. And then your friends got to go back to brunch again and cheer you up. And they're like, he's a piece of shit. He was a piece of shit. I never liked him anyway. You were too good for him. It's his loss. What was he? Scorpio. See? Piece of shit Scorpio. Should have been with the Pisces. I tell you, should have been with the Pisces. So that's the fuckboy story. And every dude at one point in his life was a fuckboy. Every guy was a fuckboy. You were a fuckboy? You were a fuckboy? Like all the dudes pretend. Every dude was a fuckboy. You don't know this about your perfect guy that you came here with tonight. I'll tell you something that you don't know about him. At some point in his life, he's tried, all of us, to suck our own dicks, okay? It's a laughter of recognition. It's right there. Why wouldn't you try it? Come on. Some of us grow out of it, some of us don't. That's why I still do yoga. I'm trying. Now, I wanted to learn how I can please her in the way that she wanted. So, by accident, I might have found her journal underneath the bed. in the safe. And I might have taken the journal and put it on the windowsill so the wind can blow it open so I could read the whole thing by accident. And she's a very good writer, so it's written in like really good detail, like 50 Shades of Grey, right? And it starts off with, Jesus fucked me so hard. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe she's religious, so maybe it's the Lord. Come to find out, it was Jesus from Argentina, right? And she just keeps going. She's like, hey, I had a feeling she was fucking another dude, and then here it was in writing. She's like, Jesus pulled my hair, he spanked my ass, he ravaged me, he did me in the way I always wanted to be done. We levitated together. It was so amazing, and the whole time I'm like, this is pretty good shit, though. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars on Amazon. It was, you guys would have liked it, right? So I put it back, and I felt so ashamed as a man that I wasn't able to satisfy her that I started to look online for help. So I signed us up for this Japanese shibari rope bondage workshop, okay? And we sit down, there's 10 couples in their library on the carpet, and everyone's kind of nervous. The instructor walks in, and he's got these ropes around his shoulders. And so he's looking around, and he's very flamboyant, right? He's got a ponytail, he's got jeans, flannel shirt. He says, hello, everyone. Welcome to my workshop. I am going to teach you how to tie up your woman like a horny goat. Do what I do. The art of Japanese shibari rope bondage is very complicated. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Jesus. The exact same guy. So her face lights up, and I'm like, you have to be fucking kidding me. I'm trying to pay attention to what he's doing. I'm completely distracted. I was like, this is the fucking guy. This is fucking Enrico Iglesias, fucking Antonio Banderas, motherfucking Puss in Boots, doing this shit. And I'm trying to do the thing, and he's like, very simple. And he does it too fast. And I'm like, fucking, I'm here. Don't want to be. Why do I have to be the one to change? Why can't she just learn to like vanilla factory setting sex? You know what? Doing this shit, this stupid shit. And then she stops me. She's like, hey, you're doing it wrong. And now we're in a whisper fight, right? You ever get one of those in public? You're doing it wrong. I was like, I don't want to fucking be here. I'm doing this for you because you like this shit. Well, at least pay attention and listen because you don't listen. That's why we're in this situation, because you don't listen to my needs. I was like, listen to me. This is difficult for me. My people don't like ropes for genetic reasons, okay? I want to fucking be here, all right? So well, just pay attention. I spent a lot of money on this class. $10 Groupon is not a lot of money. But if you're so smart, why don't you do it yourself? She's like, I will. I was a Girl Scout. I will do it myself. I was like, yeah, here you go, strong, independent woman. And she takes the rope. I didn't think she was going to do it. And she ties herself together the exact, correct, intricate way with a little passive-aggressive bow on it. She's like, that's how you do it. I was like, well, you don't need me anymore, strong, independent woman. I'm out. And I left. And she comes after me. She's like, get back here. Get back here. And we're at the point in our relationship where everything about that person pisses you off. The way a person breathes will annoy you. In through your nose, out through your mouth. It's not sustainable the way you're doing it. It's when you know, relationships are ending, you start doing passive-aggressive shit because you fucking hate that person. Change the Netflix password, don't tell them. Yeah. Right? The way she would drink would bother me. I just, like, most normal people would take the cup to their lips like this, but she's the kind of person that would take her lips to the cup like this. I swear to God, she'd go. Glass of wine, fancy restaurant, didn't matter. Fucking drink like a normal fucking person. So we're in the parking lot, and this is when the relationship gets worse. This is what she says. She says, so I didn't get anything out of that situation, and so I invited Jesus back to our apartment so he could teach us a few things. Now, this might be weird, but we're in kind of one of them California, San Francisco, open relationship bullshit thingies, right? And so she tells me, as a way to make it feel like it's my idea, she gaslit me. That's what I read. She's like, you know, this could be that threesome that you always wanted. No man fantasy of a threesome is 2 dudes and 1 fucking girl. This is bullshit. But I thought, you know what? It has to get this low before I leave. This is the last straw. I'm done after this. I was like, yeah, invite him over. Nice guy. I'll make a quesadilla for him. So we get there. We had a whole bunch of ecstasy left over from Burning Man. So we take it, right? It was actually Molly, MDMA, the powder form. We take it. And then we get into this hot tub. And he's sitting on the ledge. And I'm just floating on the other side. Creepy smile. So she goes over to Jesus. She's like, I'm gonna go down on him. I was like, yeah. She grabs his dick. She's like, only problem is, Jesus can't get an erection because of all the Molly we did. And I was like, when you do a lot of Molly, you gotta take Viagra. Rookie mistake. So she wants to have a threesome. 2 dead dicks. And she's trying her hardest to CPR it back to life, too. Clear! Dead dick. I was like, fuck it. We're gonna be here forever. Once she does this, I'm leaving. She's gotta fuck this guy. Fuck him for freedom. Dead dick. So I said to her, hey, Michelle. I said, hey, Michelle. You're doing it wrong. And she says, well, if you're so smart, why don't you do it yourself? I'm straight. But I really wanted to piss her off. And what better way to piss off a woman you're dating than by sucking another man's dick? Better than she can. It's not being gay, it's just being competitive. I was like, all right, give it to me. I swam over there. It's a big hot tub. And I get there, and his dick is floating like a buoy. And I grabbed it. And it comes into focus. And that's when I realized I'm definitely straight. Because this is the ugliest fucking thing I have ever seen. It's got one eye and it looks angry at you. It's like, I don't know how women suck dick, but thank you for your service. They should allow you to board first class on airplanes, and this is so disgusting. I was like, I can't do this. Because once you suck a dick as a dude, you're just gay. That's what it says in the Bible. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but, you know, I'm straight. Women can hook up with other women. No one judges you. You do study abroad, you know?
How was Erasmus?
Oh, my God.
Brunch 12:30. See you there. Totes. Bye.
Men can't have that conversation. Hey, yo, Mike. What's up? I sucked a dick. Don't call me anymore. Once you suck this dick, dude, this is it for you, man. So I started giving him a hand job. And I realized what he had that I did not. Foreskin. You guys know what I'm... This is foreskin, right? And Americans, snip, snip, we don't have foreskin. So when I got to Europe, hand jobs were always so painful because European girls didn't know what a circumcised dick would look like and try to grab the skin at the base and yank that over the tip. They try to make foreskin without foreskin, right? And I'm like, ah! God damn it, Matilda, shit! It's American dick, patriot penis, what the fuck? And she's like, I'm sorry, maybe you need an EU travel cock adapter, I don't know. But this guy had all of this uncut, raw, organic BO dick, and I'm like, ah! It's got hydraulics, look at that! It's so exciting. I only had the normal one. But when you do the, sorry, I'm getting all excited. When you do the, with the skin, and then the skin comes over the tip, and it's like, this is what I've been missing. And you can feel him getting hard too. It was working. I'm like, I look right at my girlfriend. I'm like, yeah. And I said to her, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I sucked that dude's dick just to get back at her. And then she fucked him just to get back at me. And Jesus had the time of his life. And the next day I left. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not letting it get any lower than sucking another man's dick. I'm done with this relationship, right? And I left. Started traveling the world. I started to live the life that I wanted. And in the end, I realized that if there's something you want in life, sometimes you gotta suck a dick. So I ended up in Europe after lockdown, after this story happened. And I spent lockdown in former Soviet Union. There's nothing more terrifying and depressing for an American to spend lockdown in the former Soviet Union. I was in Estonia, okay? I had no friends. I was so lonely, I started checking my spam folder, okay? Did anyone else do that? Was that just me? You know, just started checking the spam folder, fell in love with a Nigerian prince, right? And you would go to the only places that were open at the time. You know, you couldn't go to nightclubs, couldn't go to bars, so I would go to supermarkets like it was a nightclub, trying to meet someone. Because Tinder didn't work for me in Europe. I don't know what it is, but like girls see me on Tinder and they're like, oh, he's cute, but he could be a refugee. I think people think that. They think I'm swiping with a spear barefoot in the middle of a jungle like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, it's a match! I'm not doing that, right? And I was there so much, I'd buy one item, go back, and then get another item a few hours later. The Russian security guards started to recognize me. And they'd be like, oh, look who it is again. Obama! I had nicknames for him too. I was like, yeah, good to see you, Stalin. Nah. All right. And I was in there and I ended up bumping into this really attractive Estonian girl. First person I talked to. Beautiful. Had a conversation. And then she's telling me, I was like, what do you do in the wintertime? She's like, well, you know, so we don't jump off a bridge, we go winter swimming. I go every Sunday with my grandmother. You can come if you want to. I thought, winter swimming? I thought, from California, I'm thinking, oh, winter swimming. Indoors, heated pool, Wi-Fi, it'll be easy, right? You know, one of my only other options are a Nigerian prince. So I was like, fuck this shit, let's go. And we get there, she sends me just a dot on a map, a location, and I'm thinking it's gonna be like the center for winter swimming. No, it's just the Baltic Sea next to a former military base. And she gets there, she's like, we're here, isn't it great? It's such a beautiful day. I was like, yeah, if you're a fucking polar bear, maybe? It's -3, right? And she drops her coat and has on a black bikini, beautiful body. And in the background is a bunker and barbed wire from the 80s. It was like Baywatch, Siberia edition. frozen tundra with titties. So she goes down this metal ladder into water so cold. I've never seen this before. You ever see water so cold it's black? Right? Even the color blue is like, yeah, fuck it, too cold for me. I'm not doing this shit. And then there's this little like ice around it, and then there's this fucking hole. And she goes down in there, and she's like, oh, it's warm today. Come on in. I'm like, no, this is how you kill the foreigners. I'm not doing this shit. She's like, oh, come on in. Don't be bitch. Don't be bitch. And so I go in, and normally you go and dip your toes in cold water, but for whatever reason, I just thought this was a better idea. Just teabagging it a little bit, right? And as soon as my nuts hit the water, my genetics were like, we were not designed for this. Get out before the system shuts down! And I let go like when you're scuba diving, right? I just splashed in like, ah! And she's trying to coach me through it. She's like, breathe, relax. And I'm like, ah! I stayed 3 seconds. That's all I could take. I get the fuck out. I'm doggy paddling to the ladder. She stays for another minute. And then after that, this fucking Estonian grandmother gets out of the water. She was in there this entire time. I don't know how the hell we missed her. She had one of those circular Soviet hats. You know the one I'm talking about, right? She had these long-ass National Geographic titties. And the bikini is holding it up like a suspension bridge. No towel, no towel. She had steam coming off of her shoulders, smoking a cigarette like a retired mermaid. This is the most badass woman I've ever fucking seen, right? She's walking around the docks, and she looks at me, right? And I'm sitting there freezing my ass off, and she looks right at me. I'll never forget this. She says, "Not bad, Snoop Dogg." So now I'm famous, and I love this place. We've been together now for 3 years, me and this girl, you know? Yeah, it's a true story. The dick sucking, too. It's just, it's a true story. But nothing prepared me for how Europeans date. You date differently. You skip a couple steps. And it's because we're Americans, it's like what I'm used to is, oh, sushi, salsa for the next date, right? Salsa, sushi, what do you want to do? And she says, oh, I have a great idea. Let's go paint my father's house in the forest. Not sushi, not salsa, but slavery is what you want to do. So we take this tiny ass plane to get there. The little island plane that you take, and it's the kind of plane where the guy will take your luggage, he puts it on the plane, then the same guy gets on the plane to do the safety briefing, and then the same motherfucker flies the plane, right? So we get there, we land, and she calls a taxi. It's freezing. We're waiting forever. I was like, what the fuck is this fucking taxi? The guy gets there, he pops a trunk, and then he is the pilot for the plane. Same motherfucker, right? So we get to this house, and we're painting. I don't know how to paint at all. I'm using like YouTube videos for advice and shit like that. And she starts humming this song in Estonian. And she starts going, Sepa voisid, Sepa voisid. I was like, what is that? She says, oh, it's just an Estonian work song. I was like, you people have slave jingles? You really did suffer through the generations, Jesus. So I joined in because my people were slaves too. And I was just like, I'll be paying this house for free. Hope I get some sex later. And then the door bursts open, and she's like, Father! And I was like, no. It's a fucking second date, and the dad walks in. Him and I, we lock eyes, look right at each other, and I realize that it's the pilot from the plane. Same motherfucker. Small country, we each have 14 jobs. I was like, Katri, let's huddle up here. Second date. Meeting your father, a little too soon, recovering fuckboy. She's like, I didn't know he was going to come. It's a surprise. He brought us some Baltic pickled herring from the sea. It's great. You want to try it? I was like, are we staying here tonight? Is this like an Estonian tradition? We share the same bed with the father and we like wrestle to see who gets the pillows or what the fuck? She's like, no, don't be silly. We're going to go to the cabins, but let's try the Baltic herring. It's very good. And the dad takes it, puts on a black cracker. Oh yeah, lager here, maitsev. Girlfriend tries some, right? She's, oh, so good. I try some. Yeah, let's go to those cabins. We start driving, go off this dirt road. Grass is hitting the bottom of the car. Are those elves? We get to this cabin. It was more like a wooden telephone booth. And she's like, we're here. I was like, fucking Soviet witness protection program? And we walk inside, right? And there's no lock on the door. And she's ready to hook up, too. And she's like, so, you want to have the sex? I was like, the sex? Is there more than one? I was like, are you gonna lock the door? You know? Just in case? She's like, why do you need a lock? Who's going to come? Not me. I'm too scared to get an erection right now. She's like, don't worry, I'll protect you. So we're about to hook up. And next thing you know, God damn it. My stomach did not know what to do with the pickled herring, right? It's like, you ever have diarrhea? Your body just decides, we have to send it all through. I'm on a date right now, just hold on. No, the system was shut down, we must send it all through. That's a waste of food. What about the starving children back home in Africa? They wouldn't eat pickled herring either. We're sending it all through. Make way! And you could feel it. I was like, Katri, where's the bathroom? She's like, bathroom? Bathroom. Okay, so you go outside? And? No, that's it. You just go outside. You have the freedom to choose, like America. I go outside into this pine tree forest. You can hear shit. There's wolves, Estonian bat monkeys, right? I'm trying to get far enough away so she doesn't hear me, but not so far I get fucking eaten by something, right? I squat like I'm going into labor, and at that moment, you can hear David Attenborough narrating, observe the human Negro in the forest. He's on a date, but this fuckboy has diarrhea. Shut the fuck up, David. So I start evacuating, and it's hitting my ankles. It's going everywhere. Wolves were about to eat me. They're like, look that shit. Bat monkeys are like, it was horrid, right? And I'm out there so long, I don't have any toilet paper. I was like, oh my God, I can use my sock. Just roll around in the leaves. And then she starts looking for me because I've been out there so long trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. And she's like, is everything okay? Where are you? I was like, oh, good, don't say anything. She doesn't know where I am. We'll just sleep here, we'll go home tomorrow. It's okay. Just hibernate, go back to the first world. Yeah. Don't say anything. And then I was holding on for dear life and accidentally, and she's like, oh, there you are. Damn it. So I'm trying to be this impressive alpha male on this first date. And here she sees me through the bushes like, and she goes to hand me the toilet paper. And in any relationship, there's always that moment where you're like, this person's the one. She gives me the toilet paper, and then as she's walking away, she says, don't worry, shit happens. This girl is too good for me. She speaks 4 languages. She's an architect. She's so down to earth. Beautiful blue eyes. She's gorgeous. Very friendly. And she comes from a small town, so I think maybe that's why she, doesn't know any better. Oh, it's great. I mean, I had cows back home. It's good. It's good enough. You have dick. Let's do it. And now we live together in Estonia. That's how fucked up America is, that I moved from America to former Soviet Union for a better life. And we've got these thin walls, man. We got carpet on the walls. We're in like a proper Soviet flat, like the ones you see in the movies where they're always like Eastern Europe, and they show like like that one. We're there, thin walls, and we've got like Russian neighbors that just argue all the fucking time. A couple, and you just hear them. And then 10 minutes later, every Friday night, and then they put on Russian techno. So I'm in Estonia, I'm with this beautiful girl, I got crazy ass neighbors, and I'm like, you know what, at least I'm not homeless anymore, right? So I was happy about that shit. And we were trying for. And we were actually now. I'm older. I'm 47, according to this Norwegian woman. And so now we're trying for a kid. My voice cracked. Trying for a kid now. And it wasn't working. And it got to the point where she was, started sending me like a Google Calendar invite to show me when she was ovulating so we can get the timing right?
When the egg is dropping, let's start humping.
All right. And I thought maybe it was my issue because I did a lot of drugs back in the 60s. So I thought that there was something wrong, and I started traveling again, going out on the road, and I was like, is this really going to work, this relationship? And, former fuckboy, now I'm alone on the road. Am I a changed man, or am I going to go back to my fuckboy ways? And I was good. Until one day. Let me tell you the story first. Let me tell you what happened. All right, it was a bad show. Okay, I was funny. It was the audience's fault. All right, and it was in Norway, just like you motherfuckers. Okay, and after the show, normally I talk to people, but everyone's like, tusen takk, and they just fucked off. But there's this one woman. She's from Poland, and she wanted. The Polish person's like, we went the whole show without you saying anything. She's from Poland, and she lives in Barcelona, and then she asked me one of the strangest questions I've ever gotten. She's like, have you ever thought about donating sperm? I'm like, did you think the show was that bad? I need a new career profession? And she says, well, no, I was married to a Norwegian man, it didn't work out. He got another woman pregnant, he's supposed to get me pregnant, now I'm gonna do IVF, because I'm getting older. And I'm looking for mixed race kids. Do you want them to have a harder life? Or so you want like Obama babies? With me? She says, well, Obama's funny and you're not. But when you mix breeds like dogs, you get a stronger dog. It's like, you're taking the romance out of this, huh? I was like, so what are you thinking? Because at the moment my ego is just bruised. And then this woman, after the show, is asking me for my sperm potentially. So I'm like, yeah, go on. That's the male ego. Like, of course you want this. This Cabernet, like it's a wine. This Cabernet 1985 Sauvignon Negro. Like, of course you want this. So she says, well, there's two ways of doing it. We could, have sex for insemination reasons only, and you'd sign a waiver and you have no responsibility. I was like, you've really thought about this a lot. Do you just stop every, black guy you see? Hi, have you thought about donating sperm today? So she gets a kick out of that. She's like, well, I've done a lot of research. And the other option is, you can go to London where you can be a known donor. Because many countries, you're not allowed to know who the donor is. And you're not allowed to pick outside of your race, right? Isn't that crazy? I think Norway, I don't know what the rules are here, but the only place you can do it is London, England. Because, Brexit, no rules, they don't give a fuck. So she's like, well, I'd fly you to London, first class. EasyJet, and I didn't know at the time that EasyJet was a budget airline, but I'm like, yeah, go on. I'm thinking I'm going to be in a business suite. Yeah, it is. Would you like anything, sir? Just give me some milk. Makes more semen. It doesn't. I tried. And so I do have a girlfriend, so I've got to ask about option 2. So I call my girlfriend later that week. And it's kind of a weird thing to bring up with someone that you really love. Hey, by the way, some woman wants my sperm. But she's such a cool girl. And I told her, I was like, hey, this woman's interested in having me be like a sperm donor. There's no obligations or anything like that, and sign a waiver, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, what if the kid's, crazy? I was like, well, I signed the waiver, so it's okay. She wants Obama babies. She's like, yeah, but what if you have Kanye babies? Kanye crazy. I was like, well, I just thought maybe it'd be interesting just to help her out. And she says, if you want to, you can do it. Your body, your choice. And then she says, but are you really ready to be a father of 2? I was like, are you pregnant? And she says, yes. holy shit, we didn't pick out any names. What do you think, it's a boy or a girl? And she's like, I don't know, I've got the feeling that it's a boy. I was like, what are we gonna name it? She says, I always like the name Jesus. The girlfriend, she's 8 weeks pregnant now, and she's gonna have the kid in September. And so I was, yeah, this happened very recently. So if all goes well, she's gonna have the kid. I was supposed to come back to Norway for a month to do shows, but I might have to cancel it because of the issue, her being pregnant. But yeah, it's great, and I love doing this show. I love meeting new people, and I love making friends. I tried my hardest to make friends with a Norwegian. Right, it didn't work. But I just want to say I love coming to this place, and I love you guys in general. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to be serious. I love doing this show, and if there's any takeaway from tonight is if you have someone that likes you for you, just hang on to them. So you fucking stick with them, because it's a rare thing to find someone that doesn't try to change you. Because I told her all about my past as a fuckboy. I told her all about the dick sucking with Jesus. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Like the whole story. And then she says, I want to try ecstasy as well. So it's a good match.